Hey, family, welcome back for another episode of Lunchbreak Chronicles Podcast. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and once again, we are back here on our lunch break. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you all are having a wonderful week so far. I hope that you all are being intentional about taking time for yourselves and taking an opportunity to take a break, no matter where you are today. If you're at work, if you're out and about running errands today, if you're at school, or even if you're at home, just take a few moments to stop, to pause, to take a deep breath, to relax, to have some lunch, whatever it is. I hope and pray that you all are enjoying this day, that you're all resting, and that you are taking advantage of your lunch break. All right. For today's episode, what I wanted to do was just kind of piggyback a little bit off of our previous episode. The last episode was entitled How to Overcome People Pleasing. And I am here to tell you, it seems like for the past week and a half, I've just been working with individuals and counseling individuals around these type of behaviors, how to manage and how to overcome people pleasing behaviors. And so I thought that it would be appropriate to come back and just add on to that. I believe we had about maybe 8 strategies, 7 or 8 strategies that I went through in that last visit. So today I wanted to just tack on a few more after, working with others in session and then kind of talking with others surrounding this topic. I thought it would be befitting to add just a few more. Okay, so here we go. All right, the next strategy to help you to be able to overcome people pleasing behaviors and or tendencies would be to communicate. Right, why is it so hard to communicate? Right, nobody knows how you feel. Nobody knows what you're thinking, right? Nobody knows what's on your mind until you open up and talk about it, until you share with somebody else what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you need. It is really, really important. And I think in talking with people the past week or so, um, they tend to kind of lose their voice along the way. And I think a lot of that is because people pleasers tend to spend a lot of time and energy always being there for others, always listening to others, always consuming and taking in what other people need, what other people think, what other people want. And inadvertently, they tend to silence their own needs, silence their own voice, right? And keep the things that they want, need, desire inside, right? They keep it on the inside, right? But these are times now where I believe it's important, if we're talking about overcoming, that people truly become their own advocate, right? That you start to advocate for what it is that you want, that you begin to set those boundaries in your life, right? That will allow you to be able to communicate what it is that you need, right? That you begin to open yourself up, right? And become more vulnerable, right? About what are those things that are near and dear to your heart, right? Because let's face it, nobody really knows that. Nobody really knows that. So asserting your voice, it comes with practice, and it comes with really relearning how to communicate. Strategy that I want to add, and this is a huge one. This is a huge one. Remember, nobody's like you. Right? Why is it that we tend to think that, other people are like us? I hear this all the time. That's not what I would do. Or if they would only, right? I don't understand why they just don't, right? And the reality is everybody's not like you. And we have to come back to that realization. We have to come back to that. Stop assuming, right? Stop assuming how important you are in other people's lives, right? And I think that's kind of a lot of what goes behind some of the decisions that people make when they are tend to people please. I hear this all the time. I'm just nervous about what they're going to think and what they're going to say because they don't want me to. They don't want me to not be here. They want me to. They're going to get upset if I don't do it. If I don't come through, they're going to ask, how do you know? How do you know? That's a lot of assumption. That's a lot of forethought, right? How do you know that's how they're going to react? How do you know that that's how they're going to respond? How do you know that's what they're thinking? Right? So stop making assumptions. Doing so can lead to, suppressing your own emotions. It could lead to you not being so keen on reaching out and seeking the support and seeking the help that you need because you're so busy. You've told yourself what the other person is going to think. You've already told yourself how the other person is going to respond. And so why reach out? You already know the outcome, right? And that's the problem. Assuming causes us to say yes to things when we really, really want to say no, right? And this is a very, very tricky mindset, right? But by setting and reinforcing boundaries in our lives, it can help us to be better. It can help as you let go of the need to cater to everybody else's expectations, as you let go of the need to, be there for everybody else while at the same time neglecting yourself. You'll begin to see the changes in your life. You'll begin to see things get better. That's my prayer, at least. It has to start somewhere. We have to be able to let go. We have to be able to distinguish between, I'm showing up and I'm genuinely helping somebody because I genuinely have it in my heart to help, or I'm showing up because I feel obligated and I'm afraid to not show up, or I'm afraid to not say no because of what someone else will think or feel. Okay? And let's see, the next one I have is embrace the discomfort, right? Embrace the discomfort. One of the major major comments that I received in just really working with my clients in this area is it's hard, right? It's hard to make these changes, right? It's hard to put into practice those things that we haven't done in years, right? Let's be honest, we haven't done our entire lives, right? It's hard, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel good, right? And in some, I've even heard some people say it hurts, right? It hurts. But it is vital to acknowledge that not being comfortable is a part of the process, right? Stepping outside of your comfort zone and challenging those thoughts, challenging those, what we talked about last time, those false beliefs, challenging those behaviors that have been ingrained in us for some people since childhood, right? Over many, many years and over a good part of our lives, trying to unlearn and relearn all of that stuff. Let's face it, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time. So therefore, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable, but I encourage you to embrace that discomfort. I encourage you to embrace it and not allow that discomfort to push you away or to make you feel like you're doing something wrong or to even discourage you that is something that you can't do, right? But instead, allow yourself to consider the discomfort as a part of the course, right? If I think that along this journey, there are going to be some stumbling blocks along the way, then guess what? I can prepare myself for those stumbling blocks along the way. But if I think that the road is going to be smooth sailing and there's not going to be any hurdles, there's not going to be any stumbling blocks, there's not going to be any little cracks along the way, then when I encounter that, right, then it may throw me off course, right? It may prevent me from moving forward, right? And so I'm just encouraging you today to hang in there, to keep trying to be purposeful and intentional when it comes to applying some of these strategies in your life, right? And take your time. Take your time. I have people this past week that tried to put all 8 of the strategies into place all at once. And yeah, that could be quite overwhelming and it can be uncomfortable to say the least. So my encouragement to you is to just like a muscle, right? We talked about building that muscle and working that muscle out, right? And just like we do with our physical bodies, right? And exercising, right? It takes time to build the muscle, right? But we can't build that muscle if we don't apply resistance, right? Or if we don't encounter resistance, right? That's how the muscle is built, right? That's how we gain strength, right? That's how we grow, and that's how we become strong and resilient in life. So hang in there. Hang in there. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to feel a little weird when you say no, right? It's going to feel new, something new and different when you walk away after saying no and you don't give that extra explanation that you're so used to doing, right? It's going to feel different when you start to put you first, right? Okay. So hang in there, hang in there. Instead of shying away from the discomfort, I'd encourage you to use it as a guide as you begin to live your life, right? Use it as a guide, use it as a measuring stick as to whether or not you're embracing change and whether or not you're growing, right? All right. All right. All right. Next up, I would say this is the last thing: stay patient and persistent. We talked about being intentional. There we go. And being purposeful. And that's what it takes, right? That's what it takes. Breaking free and overcoming people pleasing, as I said before, is not an overnight transformation. It is a journey, but it is one that requires you to take your time. It requires you to be patient, and it requires you to be persistent. It requires you to be kind and gracious and compassionate with yourself. Yeah, with yourself along the way. These are new habits that many of you are just now starting to put into place. And it doesn't feel good always, right? Right. It doesn't feel good always, but knowing that changing these behaviors that for some are deeply rooted, as you change, as you grow, we hope and pray that the you that you always wanted is on the other side, right? Right? The you that you desire and have prayed for is on the other side of that. So hang in there, hang in there. Stay persistent as you commit to stop people pleasing, right? Remind yourself of your goals. Remind yourself of the positive changes that you are making in your life. Like we said in the last episode, surround yourself with people who are supportive of you, who love you, and who understand the challenges that you're facing and are there to help you as you continue to grow and move forward. Embrace each step of this journey as a chance to rediscover the you that you've always knew was inside, right? Right? All right, all right. So just real quick, just some tips that we kind of snatched out and pulled out um, over the course of these 2 episodes. Remind yourself that you can't be everything to everybody. It's just not possible. When we talk about awareness, I'm a big fan of being honest with yourself and telling yourself the truth and being realistic with yourself. And a part of that is just, look, saying to yourself every day, look, I can't be everything to everybody, right? And that's the truth, right? Start small. Focus on one area. Take one of these strategies, right? And commit to making a change in one of these areas, one at a time. I wouldn't recommend taking all of these things and applying them in your life all at once. As I said before, it can be quite overwhelming. So start small, focus on one area of your life, and work on making changes in that area, right? And it can be just as easy as saying no, right? Saying no without conviction and saying no with commitment, right? With commitment. Stop apologizing for the stuff that's out of your control, right? That there are many things, right, that are beyond our control. We cannot control what people decide to do. We can't control what people say. We can't control what people think, right? The only thing that you can control is, guess what? You, right? You can control what you think. You can control what you say. You can control how you react, how you respond. You can control that, but you can't control anybody else. You really can't even control the outcome of situations, and you can only control your part, right? But that other stuff, you can't. So stop trying. Stop trying. Stop trying, right? Drop the excuses, right? Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. And guess what? Here's the big thing. When you learn to say no, when you learn, no is a whole complete word and sentence with a period and for some, an exclamation point behind it. When you say no and you mean it, then you don't have to give all of the other explanation behind that. And what I've learned is that that explanation that comes after the no is really more about you wanting the other person to be comfortable with your no, right? But stop doing that. Just say no and mean it, right? And then, of course, keep a journal of the challenges that you may face in trying to overcome the people pleasing behaviors. Keep a journal, right? Write down some of the things that you encounter. Write down those situations where you may struggle or you may find it really challenging. Um, and then also make sure that you write down those areas that you are doing well in and celebrate those wins and victories, right? You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I have faith in you. I believe in you. One thing at a time, one step at a time, right? Overcoming people pleasing is attainable. You can do it. I have faith in you. You all take care. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please, please, please give us a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We are really trying to get our subscribers up, and we need your help to do so. Please share this video if there is someone that is struggling in this area. If there's someone that you know that has identified as a people pleaser, if there's someone that you know that can benefit from hearing this information that we shared today, please share this video with them, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so when our other episodes are available, you will be alerted and you won't miss them. Let us know in the comments how you feel. Let us know how you're doing with your journey in overcoming people pleasing. You all take care. You all have a wonderful day. Shalom.